one of the scores that they're seeing at this very moment is the Tullahoma score. Tullahoma got the big win tonight over Giles County. They reached down and picked up a big stick and stunned the Bobcats 21-14. And calling the action for Sports Radio The Ticket in Tullahoma, Scott Shasteen, and he joins us now on the phone. Scott, congratulations on the big win. It had to be exciting.
Well, Dennis, thank you. It was very exciting. It's always more exciting when you win, as you know. And it sort of added to it tonight. This is the 150th win for John Olive at Tullahoma High School in his 22nd year. So everybody very excited about getting the win. Tullahoma, by far, played its best game of the year on both sides of the line. The Wildcats led 14-7 at halftime. And really the most critical part of the game, Weave, was the first drive of the third quarter. You know, they talk about the first 5 minutes and all that. Tullahoma takes the second half kickoff, goes 65 yards in 8 plays, and scored on a 2-yard run by Chase Dixon, sophomore quarterback, getting his first start of the year, threw for 2 touchdown passes, ran for the third, and the 21-7 lead held up. Giles County came, they didn't quit, as you would expect they wouldn't. They scored with a minute left to pull within 21-14, but Tullahoma recovered the onside kick, and the Wildcats get the big W, first win of the year.
Big win indeed. You heard it here first. I'm telling you, you heard it here first. I told you that John Olive he's the football player whisperer. He is the Jedi. He's the football Jedi, and I'm just amazed at the turnaround that he's made with this team since week 0.
Oh, it's remarkable. I mean, against McGavock and Stewart's Creek, the Wildcats just had nothing. I mean, they put up very little resistance. They were beaten, early and often. And last week against Shelbyville looked like a different team. A couple of real keys to the change, though, and one is the quarterback play of Chase Dixon. Sophomore's really come on. He just had an outstanding game tonight. No turnovers for Tullahoma. I think the Cats had 1 penalty, and Dixon, again, accounted for all 3 touchdowns. Don't have final stats, but he probably threw for 150 yards, ran for another 70 or 80. And the other key has been a little change in defense. Tullahoma was playing like a 4-4-3 for the first couple of games. The Wildcats tonight adjusted with a 5-2-4 or a 4-2-5. Had 5 defensive backs on the field quite often, and Giles County just seemed confused. Trevor Holder didn't have his best game, had some balls dropped. But, the 6th-ranked team in the state of Tennessee in Class 4A, that's a great win for Tullahoma.
Hey, Scott, talk a little bit about, even though it was a loss last week, they were close with Shelbyville, then they get the win over Giles County. Obviously playing ball better late is a good thing, and kind of catching a good gear as they go into a couple of really winnable and big games for Tullahoma, especially next week with Franklin County, another one of those rivalry games that John Olive seems to always have his teams ready to play.
Yeah, I think it helped that 4 of the first 5 games are at home, even though that first game was at home against McGavock and Tullahoma looked terrible. Last week against Shelbyville, like you said, despite the loss, I'm not sure people had confidence that Tullahoma could play good football this year. They didn't really see that the first couple of games, but last week everybody realized, it's a pretty good team. They just haven't, for whatever reason, put it together, and they did that last week. They just got outscored right at the end by Shelbyville, and then tonight, defensive effort was just outstanding. Mikey Lett, senior linebacker, had a couple of sacks, had to have close to 20 tackles. He was our player of the game, and he really spearheaded the defensive effort.
All right, we alluded to it. You got Franklin County next week, another rivalry game. Good luck, and I'm sure Wilkins Stadium will be full.
Oh, yeah, it'll be packed next week. There'll be 5,000-6,000 people there. The Rebels coming off an open date. They're going to be rested and ready, so it'll be a big challenge for the Wildcats.
Scott, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
All right, Scott Shasteen with the Ticket Sports Radio in Tullahoma.